This ring carries the name of one of the most influential designers Britain ever produced. Augustus Pugin was the driving force of the Gothic revival, the man who clothed Sir Charles Barry's new Parliament in pinnacles and tracery, and he did it all before dying, worn out, at just 40.
Well, we've inherited it down through the years, but it's because our kinsman was Pugin and Hardeman Powell.
Augustus Welby Pugin,
yes,
who is, of course, the designer of the interior of the Palace of Westminster, the most venerable palace.
Look closely and you'll count 10 raised bosses around the band, one for each prayer of the rosary, a quietly devout touch from a man whose faith ran through everything he made. His Gothic vision outlived him by half a century, carried on in metal, glass and stone.
And something so rare that they can never have it again. So, without a shadow of doubt, it's worth £8,000.
Oh my God. Fantastic. Oh, that dear little ring.
Dear little ring. So it's all about this sort of, really luminous Anglo-Catholic excitement from an architect, designer, and absolutely somebody central to the national identity of the United Kingdom.
The magic here is all in the surface. Marquetry builds a picture from wafer-thin slices of coloured wood, each one cut and fitted like a jigsaw into the veneer. By the Victorian age it was a near-lost craft, kept alive for clients who could afford the hundreds of hours it swallowed.
Now that, I think, is absolutely superb. That is one of the finest pieces of marquetry I've seen in a long while. Absolutely stunning. Do you use this table?
No, we don't, in fact. The house is too...
What lifts a table like this above the ordinary is sheer control. The finest Victorian work came from the great London cabinet houses, whose craftsmen could lay a flat veneer that tricks the eye into reading depth and shadow, the kind of skill that took a lifetime to master.
And the precision with which these little lunettes are graduated from the inside to the out is just stunning. I think it is of immaculate quality. Let's just pop that down and think a little bit about its value. My guess is that if you tried to buy this, you'd need to be paying somewhere in the region of £7,500 to £8,000.
Thank you.
You've watched hundreds of these moments. The ordinary object, the jaw-dropping value. But here's the question we never ask: what's sitting in your home? You don't have to wait for the roadshow to come to your town. In seconds, Velco tells you what it is, when it was made, and what it could be worth. It's like having the roadshow in your pocket. Open the App Store and search Velco. VELQO. Or point your phone at the screen. You might be sitting on a fortune. Not every fine antique came from a fashionable London workshop. This is country furniture, made by a provincial joiner far from the capital, in honest English oak rather than imported mahogany. For years collectors overlooked these plain vernacular pieces. Today their handmade character is exactly what people prize.
Well, I can understand the question, because when you first look at it, it's disproportionate, isn't it? It's a little bit squat, a little bit dumpy on top. But no, it's not. It's a perfectly genuine and, I think, very special piece. I mean, I love this. Lots of things that we look at first. It has the great quality of a fine piece, but it's naive.
Age and honesty carry the value here. An untouched country piece, original fittings, a surface darkened by generations of beeswax and handling, is far scarcer than the grand mahogany of the same date. With furniture like this, it is condition and originality, not grandeur, that drive the price.
It's been in the family for about 50 years, and it was left to me by my mother in the 1980s when she died.
Right. And you don't do anything with it, just look after it? And...
Just a little bit of polish now and then.
Excellent, excellent. There are collectors for this type of, I use the word again, this quaint look. And take that away, of course, you've lost 3/4 of the charm of it. That alone would help sell it. And I think you probably get in the region of 8,000 to 10,000.
Fred Hall was a Yorkshireman, born in 1860, but he made his name far to the south. In the 1880s he joined the Newlyn School in Cornwall, that famous colony of painters who carried their easels out of the studio to work directly in the open air.
So it belonged to your parents, did it?
It belonged to my parents, yes. My father was an artist, a Yorkshireman, quite an avid traveller with his paint box, and I was given to understand that he actually met Fred Hall.
Fred Hall died in 1948, I think. So.
Oh, well, then he was well within my father's
absolutely.
lifetime.
So your
yes.
father probably.
By the time he painted this, Hall had left Cornwall for the Berkshire countryside, and his colours had lifted and brightened. It is exactly this fresh, open-air handling, not his darker early work, that the market prizes most highly today.
Yes, you'd call it springtime, wouldn't you? The freshness in the greens are the spring greens, aren't they? Yes, and I love the way he's captured the sunlight on the hedge on this side and the roof and the wall.
I suppose it's in the spirit of the times. I think people like space and air today, not the claustrophobia of Victorian England.
No,
they like exactly the opposite. And so this sort of painting is very much in our spirit today.
Yes.
And so because it's a popular painting, I think would do very well today.
Really?
Well, I would say probably around sort of £8,000 to £12,000.
Really? Oh my.
Long before the motorhome, there was the touring caravan, and Eccles of Birmingham practically invented it. The firm began building them in 1919, the world's first to make caravans on any real scale, just as the motor car was putting the open road within reach of ordinary families.
You go first. What I like about it is it's so traditional. The engraved glass.
You can see two worlds meeting in it. The hand-built timber body looks back to the painted wagons at the fair and the open road. The wheels and the tow hitch look forward to the motor age. It sits right at the hinge between the horse-drawn caravan and the modern holiday.
What's it worth?
Well, so I've had it 25 years, not interested in selling, but I have been offered £12,000, which I turned down.
I hope you turned
in the
it down,
past.
yes.
But,
Well, that's fine.
It's a job to put a price on it. Really.
Yeah, I mean it's priceless in a strict sense, but that gives us an idea. You know,
Survivors like this are vanishingly rare. Most early caravans were lived in until they rotted, then broken up for firewood. Eccles went on to become the biggest name in British caravanning, and a complete original van from the 1920s is now a real piece of social history, worth far more than the offer its owner turned down. Before you go, a quick word that could save you from a costly mistake. Every week, treasures like the ones you just watched are sold at car boot and yard sales for pennies by people who simply didn't know what they had. Don't let that be you. With Velcro, just snap a photo of anything in your home, and in seconds you'll know what it really is and what it's really worth. And it's completely free. Point your phone's camera at the code on screen now, or search the App Store for Velcro, the VELQONO, before you let it go.